Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pam and today's video is going to be the mid-year book Freakout tag. So yeah, I'm doing another tag today and I'm really excited for this one. It's just gonna help me reflect a little bit on what happened in the first part of the year and what I'm looking for the second part of the year. I'm gonna leave the creators down below so you can check it out. Also, the questions are gonna be down below. But yeah, let's start with the first one. So the first one is the best book you've read so far in 2021. As a fiction, I'm gonna say Watch Us Rise by Renee Watson and Helen Hagen. This book was amazing. This is contemporary, I know, like a contemporary, my favorite book, but yeah, this was so good, and I feel like every young people, whatever your gender, should read this book. This is, if I had read that book when I was younger, when I was a teenager, yeah, I would have done things differently, and I would have just reflect more and just think more, and it would have helped me to be more criticized about what is going on around me and if it's really fair for everyone. And yeah, this book was amazing. This is a really good contemporary, talking about racism, feminism, gender equality, fairness, also justice and justice. This was amazing, and it was my first introduction to Renee Watson, and I read one of the book by her so far, and I really want to read more. So but yeah, this was amazing. This was so good. If you haven't read it yet, like, please do it. And as nonfiction, my favorite book is, of course, The Skin We're In by Desmond Cole. This is a nonfiction about anti-racism and just racism in Canada, and I learned so much. I'm from Canada, I live in Canada, I've been born and raised in Canada, and I learned so many things in this, and it just like really opened my eyes on so many issues that is going on outside. It really made me realize, well, I realized that before, but it just solidified the fact that yes, I have a privilege because I'm white, and I want to use that privilege to help minorities and people who don't have that privilege. That's what I'm doing. I'm learning. I'm trying to be more proactive, and I do it especially in my classroom. I think it's a great way for me to start, because I teach 5th graders and they're like 10, 11 years old, and I think it's a really great way to start my activism and my anti-racism. I did it this year, and I'm really proud of myself, and I really want to read, and I really want to do more next year, and I want to do that for the years to come and to never stop, basically. But yeah, this was amazing. This is definitely a book I'm gonna reread maybe this year. I really want to. Otherwise, it's gonna be a book I'm gonna revisit probably every year because this is so important. But yeah, I tabbed the shit out of it. But yeah, loved it. Next question is best sequel so far this year, and for that one I had to go with Morning Star by Pierce Brown. This is the 3rd book, and it was the final book for the Red Rising trilogy, but now it's a saga, so it's going to be like a 6-book series. But in this one, it's kind of a conclusion. It's a great conclusion just because it was written as a trilogy at first. And this was an amazing sequel. It answers so many questions, and it was full of action and full of reveals, and just, I was anxious, I was happy, I cried, I did a lot. So yes, this was so good and such a well executed sequel to the first 2 books. I loved it, and I'm really excited to read Iron Gold, which is the 4th book, but I know I can wait because it's like many years in the future. So and this one like ends pretty well, and it doesn't end on like a cliffhanger, so I'm not like super anxious to get to the next book. But yeah, this was an amazing sequel. Loved it, flew through it too, and yeah. Next is a new release you haven't read yet, but you really want to, and for that one I decided to go with, which is Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. This is the first book in a new fantasy series, and basically it follows witches, and I think there's like African folklore, mythology involved in it, and I'm just here for it. And this cover is beautiful, and I love witches. I really, really want to read more witches book because I really love it. And this one, you know, fantasy, YA, witches. Yes, what can I ask for more? Like, I'm so excited for this one. I have no idea what the plot is, and I want to keep it that way. But I'm so excited for it. I think it came out in February, and it came out in April. So yeah, but I really want to read it. So excited. So beautiful. Yeah. So excited. Next is my most anticipated release for the other half of the year, and for that one I have to say a psalm a psalm a psalm of Wild Built. God, it's a tongue twister, by Becky Chambers. I really love Becky Chambers' book. I'm really excited for well, it already came out, The Galaxy in the Ground Below. Oh, it's The Galaxy and the Ground Within, which is the fourth book in the Wayfarer series. I'm really excited for that one. I do not own it, but I really want to get it like pretty soon so I can read it. But yeah, but you know, this one is a new book in a new series. The series is called Monk and Robots, and basically it's about a monk and a robot. And yeah, I'm so excited to read it. I really love Becky Chambers' book. She writes really like a character-driven book, but set in a science fiction world, and I love her characters so much. So I'm really excited for that one. And this one comes out July 13th, so it's pretty soon. Next is my biggest disappointment, and for that one I had to say Every Vow You Break by Peter Swanson. I was so disappointed. I really enjoyed 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson that I read last year. I really enjoyed it. It was really entertaining. I was anxious. I was scared, you know, for the characters and stuff, and it kind of gave me like a detective vibe without being in the head of a detective, and I really loved it. This one had a great premise. Yeah, but the ending, the ending really blew it for me. It was so rushed, and at the end, our main character can like perfectly use a bow and arrow and really hit her target perfectly. And I'm like, there's no flashback, there's no hint that she's like really good with a bow and a arrow, and I was just like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And I hated the ending. I hated it. Yeah, I read that book really quickly because it was really fast-paced, but didn't enjoy it, and I had a so high expectation. Maybe that's why I thought I would really liked it, but I didn't. This was a 2 out of 5 star. I was so disappointed, and I really want to I did really wanted to like it, but I didn't. Next is Biggest Surprise, and for that one I had to pick Sight Witch by Susan Dennard. This is a novella set in the Witchland series, and I reread Through Twitch this year. Really liked it. I read Wind Witch also this year. I was like not sure if I wanted to continue with the series, but then I read Sight Witch, and yeah, loved it. It was a 5 out of 5 star. I absolutely loved it, and it really solidified the fact that I do want to continue with the series. Like, I loved it so much. it gave me some answers, but also gave me so many questions that I want to get answers for. So that's why I'm gonna continue with this series for sure. But yeah, I'm really, really happy. This was a big surprise. I really thought I wouldn't like it, but I did, so really happy. Next is favorite new author, is either a debut author or a new to you author. And for that one, I decided to go with an author that I first read books by him this year, and that is Neil Shusterman. So I read Dry by Neil Shusterman and Jared Shusterman, which is his son, earlier this year. Really liked it. And then I read Scythe, and I read the Arc of Scythe series, and I absolutely love that series. It's one of my favorites right now. I'm obsessed. I really, really loved it. I really want to read more by Neil Shusterman, but yeah, I really, really loved. I read 4 books by him this year, and I loved all of them. So it's one of my new favorite authors, so I'm really happy because he writes really great dystopian, and I love dystopian. I just do. I love it. Next is newest fictional crush, and for that one I had to go with Sam Cortland in The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. Sam Cortland. I can't. I love him. I love him so much. Is an amazing love interest for Selena, and he's just like a really great overall character. I really love him, and yeah, he's my new fictional crush. Even though, you know, if you have read it, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I love him. I don't care. I love it. Next is newest favorite character. And for that one, I decided to go with Sherlock Holmes. So I read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes this year by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And I love Sherlock Holmes. And I knew I loved that character. I really love the movie with Robert Downey Jr. I love the series, the BBC series with Benedict Cumberbatch. Love it. But yeah, reading it, like the original text of it, I really love Sherlock Holmes. He's a great character. He's funny and keeps me on my toes, and I really love him. I'm really happy that classic kept me interested during the entire book. This was amazing. I want to read more with Sherlock Holmes because I loved it so much. So good. Next is a book that made me cry, and for that one I had to go with Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. The ending, if you have read that book, you know what I'm talking about. The ending is heartbreaking. I cried so much. I cried like my eyes out. I really cried. I cried a lot. I was heartbreak. I was so sad. I was so sad, and my heart was breaking. It was, yeah, cried. Not just like a little tear. No, I was bawling. So make me cry a lot. Next is a book that made me happy, and for that one I decided to go with They Never Learned by Lane Fargo. Oh my god, I read that book last month, and I think it's one of my favorite thrillers of all time. It really made me happy, which is really weird to say for a thriller, but this is like a really feminist, men are all trash thriller, and I loved it. I was giggling and just being so excited throughout the book when I was listening to it, and it really made me happy. I love the ending. I know some people don't really like the ending, but I really loved it. This made me really happy, and I really want to read more by Lane Fargo. Next is the most beautiful book you've bought this year or received, and for that one I decided to go with My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This is a horror book I haven't read yet, but this cover and also the other cover that looks like a 80s horror movie poster is amazing. But yeah, this is kind of a yearbook kind of thing, and it's just so pretty. And there's no like dust jacket, and the spine is a bright pink, and there's like really bright colors over here, and then inside it looks like the inside of a yearbook. You know, when people are writing like little messages for you and stuff, and it's just like, it's really perfect. I really love the aesthetic of this book. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'm easily scared, so I'm really scared to read this because it's horror, but and I think it involves like, you know, ghost and exorcism, and I'm really scared of that. But yeah, I really want to read it. But so pretty, so pretty. And finally, the last question is which books you need to read by the end of the year. So I have a couple. They're all part of a series because I really want to complete series this year. That's one of my really big goals. But yeah, the first one is The Arrow of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. So this is the third and final book in the first Mistborn trilogy. So yes, I will need to read this. I really want to read this by the end of the year. So this is the first one. Next is The Relentless Moon by Mary Robert Kowal. This is a tongue twister for me. I just, yeah, it's really hard for me to say. This is the fourth book, and it's the last one that is already out in the Lady Astronaut series, and I really love the first two, so I'm really excited to read the third one. Yeah, I need to read this. Next, which is really intimidating, is A Dance with Dragons by George R. Martin. I would like at least to start this year because it's big. It's over 1,000 pages, and you know, it's written like really, it's pretty small. It's really heavy. But yeah, this is the fifth and final book that is out yet in the A Song of Ice and Fire series. There's 2 more books that will probably added to the series, but they're not out yet. There's not even like a publishing date. So this is the last one that is out. But yeah, I would like at least to start it, like I said. Not finish it, but at least started it. And finally, it's the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th books in the Turtle of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I'm currently reading the 3rd book, and I'm really enjoying it. So I would really like to finish this series because it's completed and I have all the books in my possession. So I have no excuse to not finish this year. So yes. So this is it, guys. This is the mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments which book is your favorite so far, and I also want to know which books you're really excited to read for the rest of the year. Maybe it will give me some ideas of what to read. Not like I need to add more books to my TBR, but whatever, I really want to know. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.